The new year. Joining us now, Americans for Prosperity President Tim Phillips. Tim, your group is going to be out there promoting this plan. What exactly are you going to focus on to sort of get these low poll numbers higher?
It's important to remember, I know you know this, that when the Reagan tax cuts passed in '81, they did not poll well, around 34%. So most Americans look at Washington, they don't trust it. That's a reasonable thing. We want to show Americans exactly the benefit they're going to receive, whether it's lower rates on the individual side, a higher standard deduction, which is being doubled, or the job creation that's going to happen, we're confident, in the wage growth because of the corporate rate cuts. We're going to be doing town hall meetings, digital advertising, broader network as well, and cable.
Now, of course, the whole time you're doing this, the mainstream media will say it doesn't work. They'll dump on it every single day. The Democrats will say, well, maybe it wasn't Armageddon, but you know, it's close to there. It's pushing us closer to the cusp. That's those messages, you know, going against each other. Could the icebreaker, though, be when people start to see this on their own, in their own personal realities, when they get that check in February and they keep more of what they worked hard for?
The Rolling Stones were right on this one. Time is on our side with regard to this. Folks are going to see it in their paychecks, are going to see it when they do their taxes for next year. It is on our side. We just got to keep it in front of Americans because, you know, the news cycle moves so quickly. We want to make sure they remember, hey, when you do your taxes at the end of this, you know, next year for this year, or even when you see your paychecks, or when you get that new job, or when your wages are going up, a lot of companies are already raising pay because of the corporate rate cuts. It's because of these tax cuts that the administration deserves credit for, and this Republican Congress.
I think I've seen half a dozen companies raise their minimum wage to $15,
already.
And it's great when it's done organically and not forced upon by the government, state or local.
No question.
Next one for you on health care. The president planning to sign an executive order aiming to make low-cost plans more accessible to consumers. How does that work? What are your thoughts on it? Again, it seems like a no-brainer. I think it would be fantastic because some of those plans in the Obamacare package were so mismatched for the needs of potential customers.
It's going to impact young people the most. I've got 3 20-something sons. They're going to be able to choose. Here's a shocking thought based on Obamacare. They're going to be able to choose what is best for them. For them, catastrophic care, Charles. You know that when these young folks can go out and get less expensive policies because they don't need all the pile-ons that Obamacare forced. And it should increase choices, or it will increase choices. But also,
could it increase? So that's a key component, competition, because that's what drives everything. We're talking about Amazon. Are people benefiting from Amazon? Everyone watching the show, one way or the other. Competition, bringing that to the healthcare market, that's a key component that's been missing.
It is, and at this point, if you're in an Obamacare exchange around this country, just under 50% of the folks in those, no choices. They have one company to choose from. Hopefully, when you let companies offer more catastrophic or more detailed plans that again, give consumers more choices, it should increase competition because companies are going to see an opportunity to get out from a government mandate and perhaps make a profit in offering a good service, Charles. And that's the key, letting companies create value, giving them the ability to do that, to compete with each other. That gives consumers choices.
And then, of course, your sons can take those savings and buy some Bitcoin.
I'm not too sure about that. I like the last guy up. I think he may be right on that one.
Before I let you go, though, all of this, though, comes under one big problem, one big pushback that's always out there, and that's class warfare. Right? The idea that, hey, you know, I think it's a bad look when someone belittles regular folks, you know, regular middle-class earners, saying $2,000 is not a big deal, extra $40 a week is no big deal. I think they're so disconnected from the needs of people in that economic area, but also the notion that, hey, yeah, you may get $2,000, but this guy's getting 60. How unfair is that? To stoke that sort of envy.
Here's the key thing. As a percentage of income, the middle class and lower middle class is going to benefit as a percentage of their income greater than the top group under this rate cut. It's a good cut. We've got to make that case to folks, and we've got to push back against this envy and the resentment that the left does so much. You know, envy is one of the 7 deadly sins where you don't actually get any satisfaction out of it.
Tim Phillips, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hey, check this out. One New Jersey town outlawing out-of-town drivers during rush hour. Police in Leonia are